Welcome to the Sailor Noob podcast, where a superfan and a noob talk about the original Sailor Moon episode by episode. I'm your host, Mikan Hana, joined by my co-host.
I'm the co-host and the noob, Caliban. Arigato, Kami-sama. I'm free at last.
We're a couple of magical people ready to moon eternal make up this episode. Today we are talking about episode number 173, Wakare to Dei, Ume no Hoshiboshi no Ryuten in Japanese, and the English translation, Farewells and Encounters, the Transitioning Stars of Destiny, and the European Portuguese, Novo Confronto, or New Showdown.
Yes! That's awesome!
Yeah.
Nolo contendere to nuovo confronto.
Yeah, right.
They're just like, hey, you want a confronto with me? I thought we buried this hatchet-o a long time ago. No, I also like it is European Portuguese.
Yes.
Do you know what it was in American Portuguese? That is to say, South American Portuguese?
I don't know
It's
off
all
the top
America.
of my head, but I think it was
Half
listed
the world,
on
America.
Yeah. I mean, it was listed on the website, but I don't have it in front of me.
Oh, that's okay. All right, right. No, you didn't have to pass that quiz. Yeah, I like that. It's a new confrontation.
Yes.
That describes it.
It does.
I mean, one aspect of it.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
There is a
that we
lot
gotta talk
happening
about.
in this episode.
A lot to take in and digest.
Yes.
But I'm looking forward to it. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I have eaten a lot.
Uh-huh.
I have eaten quite a bit. But like someone who eats, what's a non-filling food?
Rice crackers?
You eat just rice crackers.
Uh-huh.
You're just eating them all day.
Right.
All night. But you're not fulfilled.
That's true.
And then somebody's like, we're going to throw some steaks on the grill. Oh, you've been eating rice crackers. No, I can have a steak. Yeah, medium rare. Almost blue for mine, please.
Yeah, right.
That's what I want. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I mean, we're going into a new part of the season, and it's exciting to see where that's going to take us. And it's besides just being away from Nihilenia, because obviously there's that.
Any direction. Yeah, well, lots of talk about like black holes or black suns or whatever in the Nihilenia era. And, the particular geometry of black holes is that, gravity is not a force, it's a space-time curvature. And so the whole point of a black hole is that, it warps and bends space to the point where every destination is inside the black hole.
Well, that sounds like Nihilenia to me.
Feels that way sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But now this is a white hole.
Yeah.
We can only move away from Nihilenia.
That's right.
This is a quasar, a very special kind of star. Oh no, is he going to torture us with astronomy facts for the whole season?
What is a quasar?
Maybe. I might do that.
What is a quasar?
It's a long story and a lot of it's theoretical.
Okay.
But it is basically a distant radio source and I think there is debate in the scientific community on what it is exactly.
Okay.
But it is a radio or X-ray source, probably the nuclei of a distant ancient galaxy that is throwing out energy because there's a supermassive black hole at its center.
Oh, okay.
Because I know that we said it's only within a certain distance of something that they call the event horizon that you get sucked into a black hole. But stuff can accelerate as it comes toward a black hole, and with that acceleration, it can sort of orbit a black hole.
Okay.
And so you see in, I am going to do it, aren't I? I'm doing it, everybody. In the movie Interstellar, the reason that there's like this, ring around the black hole is superheated like plasma and matter that is like orbiting the black hole.
Okay.
And then sometimes the black hole can spin so fast that it shoots like these jets, they call relativistic jets.
Okay.
Which is like material that is going a appreciable percentage of the speed of light away from the poles of the black hole, because theoretically a non-rotating black hole is possible, but every one that we've seen or that we've theorized is a rotating black hole, like most massive bodies in the universe.
How do they figure all this stuff out? It's like fascinating.
Radio telescopes.
Okay.
Yep. A lot of theorizing. and had a lot of it worked out, and then developing radio astronomy. Whenever they developed radio, out of 40s, 50s, whatever it was, I don't know exactly, meant that a lot of this was possible.
That's interesting.
We were right about that.
Yeah, right.
We were right about everything, but a lot of stuff we were. And then a couple of years ago, they took a picture of a black hole.
Did they really?
Yeah, there was that glowing donut thing.
I don't remember.
You're not on the internet. It's okay.
It's okay. It's true.
I'm not. Tired of not being on the internet? You should try it. There's a lot of stuff on here.
I do.
It's pretty great.
Because there's
your
a lot
voice
of stuff
is on it. I don't know if you know about that.
I know about that.
You probably haven't heard it though.
Come on, I have to.
Well, we have heard from our listeners who respond to our question, what did you think about this episode? If you're a Spotify listener, you can go to our Spotify page online where the web thing is and you listen to it, or through your app on your device. And for every episode, answer the question, what you think of this episode? And people had responses.
All right.
For the monumentous finale to the first part.
Yes.
The little dogleg extra part of Sailor Moon Stars. One of those listeners was Cincy Raz, who says, speaking of International Instant Coffee, I was just in Osaka visiting the Sailor Moon Museum, and my hotel room. Do they have motels in Japan?
I don't know if they do.
I think we talked about that once, but we never got an answer.
Yeah.
My hotel room only had instant coffee. I had to Google how to make it. Sweat drop, smiley face. I knew it. I knew that despite their love of delicious and, imported things,
yes.
The Japanese would not be able to resist the convenience of instant coffee. And so it's good to know that that's a thing. But thank you for your response, Cincy. Listener Agata says, at last, my favorite season is on. It's definitely more mature and relatable. Can't wait.
Nice.
Mature. Relatable, I understand.
Yeah.
Or not. I mean, they transform into, cheerleaders who fight monsters from other universes. But what's mature mean?
I think, the girls are older.
Whoa.
I don't know.
Now we're getting somewhere.
I just think that there's a little bit more they've learned stuff.
It better not that's two negatives. It better still be silly.
It's still silly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then
don't worry about
that's the kind
that.
of maturity that I can handle.
Yeah.
So I hope for those things. Thanks, Agata. Listener Fandom Casual says, you know what? Labyrinth. Through dangers untold and hardships unnumbered, I have fought my way here to the castle. For my will is as strong as yours, and my power is great. You have no power over me. Do you think that this arc was like Labyrinth?
In some ways, yeah. I mean, it ends with
Then why doesn't it have a
Usagi.
scene where they're dancing at a ball and it's got the dick nose masks? And such a pale Julie,
I don't know. They're referencing a lot of things, like we talked about, like Sleeping Beauty.
That's true.
Yeah.
Is this? Well, it's not deconstructionist. Is Labyrinth deconstruction? It's neo fantasy fairy tale.
I would say it's Neo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Post. Neo. Post. I could kind of see that. The thing is, I agree with fandom. I think that that's a good pull.
I think so too.
The difference I think that is there is that over the course of 4 seasons, we have so many times had Usagi grow up,
Yeah.
and her being more mature is the answer to the question. In fact, she's already beaten this particular villain.
Yeah, she has.
In that exact way, both her and the Quado her. So I think that the people that make the show knew that. And so there isn't really, yes, she perseveres and she does it and she crawls through the brambles and she loves instead of hates and she does all that stuff real good.
Right.
But like, it isn't, I don't think the huge focus is on her not being a little snot anymore.
It's not.
Because they've done that already.
And
I think they knew that
yeah.
they couldn't do that again.
I think you're right.
And that's kind of Sarah's problem in Labyrinth. It's that she's just a little snot.
It's true.
But she has to she has to take ownership of her.
And she has to save her baby brother.
Well, I suppose.
That's the whole reason
if you
she's
still
there.
got him. Yeah, I know. Don't try to deny me, Sarah. Thank you for your comment, Fandom Casual. Black Star Raven comments, her power wanes, her end draws near. The mirror shatters, her image fades. A chapter closed in moonlit shades. The end of a queen, her story told in the warmth of a kingdom old. Burma shave. No. OMG, it's finally over.
Yeah, no kidding.
And nice poem, nice bit of verse there. And yeah, I agree with that sentiment completely.
Me too.
Although, and I don't want it. I don't want it at all. Unless it's the reboot that we talked about on an earlier episode where Chibiusa is at college and Helenia shows up. She's like, I need a place to crash. But it's not, it's kind of the beginning of her story, isn't it?
Yeah.
Supposedly.
Because she gets a second chance.
Yeah, that's what they make a big deal out of that.
Yeah, they do.
And you had said on an episode, and I don't think we really dug into it, is she being reborn? Are they rewinding time for her?
Yeah.
Or is that, I think that that's just supposed to be a reverie, because she is going to go on to, maybe she is going to die, and are we going to make a clear statement about the afterlife on this kid's show? Probably not. Maybe she is dying and going to her reward or whatever, going to someplace better. But instead of like seeing something happen to her in the black hole, I think that we're just seeing a memory from her childhood when she was vulnerable and innocent, the way that she has learned that she needs to be now. But that's only my interpretation. I think that it could be something where she lives on in another universe, or maybe they brought her universe to her prison, and
I feel like
they brought all your favorite things.
Yeah,
Parcheesi.
She's reliving her childhood because she, wanted friends, but she didn't ask for them.
But if she's reincarnated in the past, or are they just going back in time? She'll just do everything all over again.
That's true.
And if she doesn't do it, then we've got a paradox. Although I don't think the show cares too much about that.
Yeah.
You've made us think, Black Star Raven. I curse you. I curse you for that. But thank you for your comment. And finally, listener Cosmic Rain says, the curse is gone.
Yes.
You've reached the stars. As much as I've enjoyed your misery with Nehelenia, rude, I'm excited for you to watch the real stars. Mika, I hope you've been practicing your poker face. Papa poker face.
Oh my God, I love it.
Why do you have to practice your poker face?
'Cause I do.
Okay.
'Cause there's things that happen in this season.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say.
All right. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm going to be as vague as I possibly can.
I'm looking through you. Like Paul McCartney. Or was that a John Lennon one? I don't remember. All Lennon McCartney. All right. Well, I'll be looking for things to try to trip me. This is the game now, right? I'm going to try to trip you up.
Okay,
and
great.
then I'll act mad. But thanks for setting that off, Cosmic Rain. Listener, if you want to comment and tell us what you thought about the episode, that is our episode of Sailor Noob, you can do that on Spotify, on your device, or on the app online.
So, Cal, would you like to tell us what happens in this episode?
I do, but first, we have to talk about new stuff.
Oh, that's right.
New stuff in the opening sequence.
Yes.
Which is basically in the previous, let's say the last episode, if you watch the opening sequence, there are spots where I'm like, something goes here.
Yeah, right.
Although I thought that about Sailor Moon Supers, and there were some spots that were just like, nope.
We're not adding
just a cloud.
There. Yeah.
Yeah. But there were some spots, and now there are no spots, unless they switch something out completely, like at the halfway point. Still looking. Her poker face is pretty good, Cosmic. Then there's nothing to add. Like it's packed solid now, and the song's still the same length, right?
Yeah, it is.
So
yeah.
But here's what we see that's new. We see a locket or brooch kind of thing that I don't recognize, although I guess I wouldn't because there's like 20 of them. But it's not the one that Eternal Sailor Moon uses.
Right.
It's like a Christmas ornament. It itself is star-shaped.
Uh-huh.
And it is studded with colored gems.
Sure.
And it has wings.
Yeah.
Like a maxi. And then hot on the heels of that, in fact, in the hand of a person, we see 3 women in black leather halters and hot pants.
Yep.
With thigh-high boots.
Yep.
Yeah, coming up on stage number 2, it's Fighter. Give it up for Fighter. So that's interesting. Also, we see a woman with jeweled bracelets in what looks like golden armor with pteruges. Nobody knows how to say it.
Oh my gosh.
The feather skirt thing.
Yeah.
Not like Josephine Baker. Like Wonder Woman,
Yeah.
The leg things. And there's like chunks of crystals flying all around her, or just maybe crystals flying all around her.
Yeah.
And that's the new stuff.
That is the new stuff.
And it's not super confusing because we're going to see all that in this episode.
Okay.
So it's like question answered. Okay, good. I didn't finish asking the question. It's a new day. And that day begins with a shot of a darkened hallway. I'm guessing it must be in Holland because it's Dutch angled. Hello to our listeners in Holland. We see a trio of persons walking towards a closed door, and I think they're women because they start talking and they have higher pitched voices, but I've learned to stop making assumptions. So we're going to move on. One of these persons says, "Can we find her?" And another says, "Don't worry, that's why we came here." And the third person says, "We'll find her without fail." They're all wearing suits and they have like boutonnieres in their lapels. Mm-hmm. One says, "Even if we sacrifice everything." "Now let's go. It's time." And they walk through the doors to the sounds of a roaring crowd. Are they wrestlers? Is this the new corporation? The corporation was like, when it was a stable, like it's going to take forever to explain.
It's okay.
Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Triple H. His character was that he was like, from Massachusetts or whatever, where he's from.
Okay.
And so he was like the rich, snobby wrestler. He was a heel.
Okay.
But then he also like linked up with like, Shane McMahon, and like they became like, we're the rich wrestler. Don't you hate us that we're rich? They come out in like three-piece suits and everything, and be like, take 70 yards of fabric to make these suits for these guys. Anyway, maybe they're not wrestlers. I don't know. We cut to the outside of something hall. I couldn't get my Google Translate to work on it because one of the characters was smudged.
Oh no!
But I know one of the characters is hall. Here's Google's best attempts. The library is young. The museum is weak.
Oh my goodness.
Ineffectiveness of the building. So
those are all great, but not helpful.
No, yeah, and English homophones aren't going to help. But if people know Japanese homophones, something weak, however you say weak in Japanese, whatever would sound like that, I'm guessing, would be, or no, it wouldn't be sound, it would be the shape of the character, maybe. It seems to think there's weakness. The museum's weak, this building is ineffective. So I figured none of those are correct. But there's a banner in English saying, "Live Tour 1996, 3 lights." And there's a press of people, mostly young girls, here to see the show. Inside, the stage's lights flash and strobe, and the crowd is going crazy. And on stage, we see the 3 people from the opening in all their mulleted glory. They're all business up front and a party till dawn in the back. Long ponytails. Yeah. As the lights come up and the opening number starts, we see a silver-haired person in a powder blue suit with a yellow rose, a brown-haired person in a caramel-colored suit holding a white rose, and a black-haired person in a red suit holding a red rose, which they throw high in the air as we cut to Fruit Parlor Crown.
Yes. Where
Luna is asking, "The 3 lights?" And Ray, Manako, and Makoto, who are all reading a rock magazine, say, "Don't you know?" Oh, and it's 3 lights, not the 3 lights. Like Pixies, not the Pixies. Poser.
Oh my God, I love it.
Ray says, "They're a super popular idol group." And Manako says, "Well, it's all because of Seiya. He's got a wild and dangerous feel." Well, see, this is why I don't assume anymore. But I've seen them in 2 pieces.
Yes.
Are their secret identities made to throw people off? Poker face, don't answer the question.
Okay.
But that's my guess. Seiya is the red one, by the way, and I think Manako, she's a lot more dangerous than he is. I'd be worried about him.
Yeah, right.
Ray says, "Isn't he a bit childish?" And Makoto says, "That's what's so great about him." Ray says, "For me, it's Yaten, the silver-haired one, with that unapproachable beauty." Nobody says anything, because what's the point at this point?
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
She does it to herself.
She does.
Mina says, you never know what he's thinking. And Mako says, that's what's so great about him. Well, she really gets shortchanged, doesn't she?
She does.
If they're like, we need somebody to explain what's going on. Or just go, huh? Makoto.
It's you, girl.
That's you. Luna's like, you guys are obsessed. But Ami says, aren't you forgetting the cool and dreamy Taiki? The brown-haired one.
Yeah.
He's overflowing with grace and maturity. Ray, Mina, and Mako agree, but Mina says, wait, Ami, are you a secret are you a closet fan? And Ami says, well, I don't really know much about them. Mina says, what about you, Usagi? Who do you like? And stirring her tea absently, Usagi says, Mamo-chan, and sighs. And Mako says, what's the matter? And Usagi says, well, turns out Mamoru's going to study abroad in America.
Uh-huh.
His thesis was accepted. What was his thesis?
I have no idea.
Oh, that's right. It was on altitude and attitude, vigilante escalation theory. So glad we can call that back. Artemis is like, that's so great. And Mina just crushes him into the Nagahide of the booth. Just think about her feelings. Ray says, how long will it be? We cut to a bridge. Presumably this is a flashback where Mamoru is telling Usagi the bad news that it'll be at least a year. And Usagi says, I'm all right. Even if you're in America, it's not like we'll be apart forever. And I'll never stop loving you, Mamo-chan. Good luck in your studies. I have your information. She's putting on a brave face, but she has to be worried that there'll, be temptations.
Yeah.
He's going to meet some blonde-haired girl named Victoria. She's really into windsurfing. She's got a friend in a flying wheelchair. They're always doing conga lines in the dorm. Disgusting.
Oh my God, I love it.
Back in FPC, the insightful one, Mako, a.k.a. we got to move this thing forward, says, are you really okay with this? And Usagi says, it's okay. One of his dreams is coming true, and I have to see him off, smiling. I'm fine.
Oh my God, I know.
Later, we see Usagi walking home in the distance, like George Michael. As the squad continues to discuss the situation, Mako says, it was kind of sudden. It must be hard on her. And Ami says, and Chibi-usa has gone back to the future.
Yeah, I love how we get a throwaway line.
I love that drop. What? No! No! I quit. I don't want to live in a Chibi-less world.
I hear you.
I'm going to throw myself off a floating elephant.
Oh my God, no.
Why?
I don't know.
Blah. Anyway, Mina says she must be lonely. At the Sakino house that night, a house that, let's face it, it'd be pretty lonely when your mother, father, brother, and daughter, sister, and boyfriend have all disappeared.
Yeah.
Luna's
right.
not around half the time. How's she going to afford the property tax on this thing?
That's a good question.
In the middle of Tokyo? Forget about it. 2%. Let's see. It's well, they put Chibi in the loft, so it's 2 bedrooms with an attic. I don't know if there's a basement or not. Basically in the middle of Tokyo. It's 1996. I'm going to say $300,000 American.
At least.
2% of that is $6,000.
Yeah.
She's going to be looking for work.
Yeah, for sure.
She's going to be out in the street.
Oh my gosh.
Going back to Fruit Parlor Crown. Got to get an application and a parfait. Usagi sits on Chibi's loft bed in her pajamas. In Usagi's pajamas, not in Chibi's pajamas. And she's looking at a picture of her and Mamoru and Chibiusa. And she asks, Chibiusa, what will I do? Luna comes in and says, cheer up. But Usagi says, I can't. Spring has arrived, but Chibi is back in the 30th century, and Mamo's going to study abroad, and her name is Victoria. We see Mamoru in his pad, picking up his things, and he has the same picture, and he looks at it, smiling. We don't see him pack it, though.
No, we
He
don't.
just smiles, opens a drawer, puts the picture in it, closes the drawer.
Oh my God.
Sailor, Sailor Moon, Sailor, Sailor Moon. Usagi says, I want to say no, stay with me. I'm not that strong. But Luna says, hey, do you remember when you met me for the first time? Those kids were trying to get me to bark.
Yeah.
You were a crybaby and careless, but compared to those days, I think you're much more mature. Some good feline parenting, Luna.
Yeah.
Too bad their real parents aren't here to help out. Usagi seems to recover a little, and Luna says, let's see him off with a smile. We cut to the airport. Haneda, I'm guessing.
I think so.
Because everything takes place within like 5 miles of Juban in this show. So
yeah.
No way we're going to Narita. And the PA announces that New Japan Airlines to New York is now boarding. We see Mamoru with his carry-on, and he says to himself, it's time. And Usagi arrives. The light, the heat, my She's got a pizza. She's holding a frozen pizza up. She walks to him as he says, I thought you had school today. One of the drawbacks of dating a high schooler. She can't see you, an adult, leave the country. She says, I'll be waiting for you. He says, for a while, I'll be very busy and I won't be able to contact you much. I got to remember that line.
Oh, my gosh.
I'll be casing jewelry stores in the Diamond District.
Oh, my God.
She says, that's okay. I'll write you every day, so... And she starts to cry.
Yeah.
She says, oh, no. I was going to see you off with a smile today. Mamoru responds by holding out a little box to her and saying, please open it. What? Usagi takes the box, and inside is a ring with a pink heart-shaped stone?
Yes.
Circled by pearls or diamonds or something like that?
Yep.
He takes the ring and he slips it on her finger and he says, I love you, Usako. And she flies into his arms saying, thank you, I'll treasure it. So is it like, a ring? This is just a little thing that I
think it's a ring thing.
I know it's a ring. Look, we're ruining the joke. They're going to be doing this later in the episode, but like, is it that?
I think it's that.
But it's not. So he got her like a.
It's either like a promise ring or
prize.
It's either like a promise ring
don't say
or
promise ring, although it is the 90s. Let's say engagement
ring. Yeah, that's what I think.
But don't.
He's got money.
But not
and
much.
he's going away for a year, so he's.
But that's not. You don't. This will keep us together.
Yeah, I know.
I think this is a weird gesture.
You do?
A little bit.
Okay.
But we have to tell the audience, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't even worry about it. He's going to be off fighting Adrian Barbeau, but nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen at all. You'll get a lot more out of this if you know anything about Saban Moon. All right. They gaze into each other's eyes and they kiss until Mamoru says, now I have to leave. He's about to when we hear female screaming. The excited kind, the good kind. Further down the concourse, we cut to the members of Three Lights being mobbed by adoring fans. It must be their navy tracksuits. Seiya pushes his way out of the crowd and passes by Mamoru and Usagi, and as he does, there is some kind of moment, some kind of charge passes between them. He turns to look at Usagi as she passes, his eyes wide beneath his wraparound sunglasses. Kakui. And we wipe to a jet plane leaving Japan as Usagi watches and thinks, take care, Mamo-chan. Guess you can't get a cat through security.
No, I guess not.
We see galaxies careen through the void as a voice says, I feel it. The energy of ever shining stars. Hoshiboshis. True star deeds. I got a star deed once for my birthday. What a scam.
What is a star deed?
They name a star after you. You get and they're out $50 and you got a piece of paper. Doesn't mean anything.
Do you know where your star is?
Yeah, it's somewhere in, I don't know. Let's not dredge that up.
Okay.
It's just like the early days. Well, it wasn't the early days of the internet. I don't know. People were doing it. I don't think people still do that. Or no, now they do. Oh, you can have an inch of land. That makes you a Scottish laird.
Or they buy you a tree somewhere or something like that.
Oh, well, I mean, at least that's a tree.
Yeah.
Just get a handful of peat. On my land in Scotland, where I'm a laird.
Oh my God.
We see a figure, half in light, half in shadow. And this person likes gold.
I love gold!
Golden tiara, golden armor, probably gold underwear. It warms up. She says, On that blue shining planet, there are still many sleeping star seeds. Find them, plunder their star seeds so we can gain their power. And we see 5 lights fly through space and enter Earth's atmosphere. We see one race across the surface of the ocean. And we cut to Mamoru in his seat on his trans-Pacific flight, looking at his picture of Usagi and Chibiusa. The light strikes the plane, and the plane itself seems to explode with a golden light. And Boeing is like, okay, that was not our fault.
Yeah, right.
He's probably going across the Pacific, right?
Probably.
Going to like UCLA or something? Doesn't have to go to UCLA, but...
Well, it says he's going to New York, right?
Did it?
I thought you said that the plane was leaving for New York.
It is for New York.
Yeah.
Then he's not even... Oh no, he's over the Indian Ocean. That's where they all go down.
Oh my God.
Oh no! This is flight M377021. I don't remember what the numbers are.
I don't remember.
The one that
either.
disappeared.
Yeah.
Oh no. Well, now we know what happened. Those starlight things.
Starlight things?
Whatever they are. Those magic missiles. Some D&D wizards out there, and he's drunk. Somewhere else, Yaten is noodling on his guitar when he looks up and says, another star's light has just disappeared. Taiki says, in a time like this, she would have intervened. But Seiya says, well, she may be close to us even now. We have to hurry. We don't have much time left. And 1, 2, 3, 4. They're rehearsing or something. We cut to Usagi at FPC, and the squad is admiring her ring, her really important but not contractually binding ring. And I don't get it. And the girls are happy, but, you know, they've been going through a dry spell themselves, so this is tough for them. And he put it on her left hand, no less.
Yes,
so,
on her ring finger.
Maybe she's in shock, but Usagi is not getting this. I'm with Usagi. We're not getting this. You're like getting it. And the girls are like, oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, sure.
So maybe Mama was too subtle.
But Usagi's apparently blind to all the significance of this, and Ray says, what? Are you even a girl? Girls can be sexist, Ray.
Yeah.
You just did.
Yeah.
You just did, baby. Oh, I just did. No! And Usagi says, a prettier girl than you, Ray. Ray says, even Luna gets it. And Luna says, hey, I'm a girl. Sexy shoulders.
Oh my God, no.
And Usagi's like, get what? Just then, Manako runs in breathlessly with Artemis and says, hey, they're in the park, doing it. And Ray says, see, they're doing it. And Usagi's like, doing what? What is it? We cut to the park where there is it. What? This? Ooh, what?
Yeah.
We got to the park where there is a huge crowd, and Mina says, we're late. It's the location of Three Lights drama series. Makoto says, here's my exposition. You mean Z-Files of young Sherlock Holmes? I'll just be quiet for a while now.
Oh, no.
Just
Contractually obligated to say what's happening.
Slowly bobbing. Bobbling?
Bobbling?
What sound do breasts make?
Oh my God.
just breasting boobily. Ray says, my favorite. And Usagi's like, what is it? Ami says, a super popular program with a 35% viewer rating. Whoa! A 35 share?
That's pretty big.
In their demographic? In like the 1835 demographic? Or where exactly?
That's a great question.
Sailor Moon only ever hit a 16.3 share.
Is that right?
During Sailor Moon R, of course.
Oh, very nice.
Guess when it went down?
Supers?
Stars.
Stars?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, they made it almost to single digits. I think the lowest episodes were single digit percentage of TVs that were on. That's what a share is.
Okay.
Not just households.
Yeah.
Not great.
That's not great.
No, I think people made it through, well, just like me, although I'm still here. People made it through Supers. And they were like, all right, bring it on. They're like, no, I'm out. Spider Lady's back. Forget this.
Yeah, right.
So they lost viewers. Let this be a lesson to... Oh, this is 30 years ago. Okay. Ami catches herself and says, I don't actually know a lot about it, of course. And we see the set of the show and the crew getting ready to shoot. Our girls are way in the back of the crowd. making it hard for them to see. So Usagi and Minako start jumping up and down with the cats on their shoulders to get a better look, because this show cannot help itself.
No.
Mina spots Itsuki Alice, the female lead of the series, and the girls all start jumping up and down. Although why they just don't take turns having Mako lift them up bodily, I'm not sure.
That's a great question.
All right, you see that? Good. All right, boom, down. Next, come over here. I got away less than game said.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Mina spots Taiki and Yaten, and I can't do it justice, but it really is cute and good animation too when the girls just keep like jumping up and down.
Yeah,
so some
it's
of them
really
come
cute.
up and they're like, ooh, and their heads appear. They're dreamy. And then even like Ami and Usagi jump up, and Ami's like, ooh. But in mid-flight, Usagi like looks over at her, and she goes, oh, yes. It's good stuff. They didn't have to do that. Mina has had enough, and she says,
let's go, girls.
And the girls start pushing their way through the crowd to reach the front. But Usagi doesn't have quite the budging skills, and she gets left at the back of the pack. As she continues to jump up and down, we pan up into the eaves of a tree. And it's not Uranus and Neptune that we see.
No.
But instead, a white-haired girl in a pinstripe suit with a red ascot and a fedora and sunglasses.
Yep.
She looks like Rocky Rococo.
Who's Rocky Rococo?
Okay, that's not going to play outside the Midwest. Rocky Rococo is they're not so big anymore. They were a pizza. They're like a Godfather. Okay, she looks like the Godfather from Godfather's Pizza.
Okay.
Okay? Rocky Rococo, but he had sunglasses, and he's like, hey, I'm not Godfather's Pizza. Hey. They did those parody movie posters where it's like, oh, he is Rocky. He's like going up the stairs.
Okay.
And his hat, and his sunglasses, and his mustache. Like, hey, Adrian, get this pizza. You know, that kind of thing. I could have said Carbone's Pizzeria. That would have they would have found us on a map if I'd said that.
That's true.
I just said it. She chuckles to herself and says, attracting a huge crowd. No, she's not gonna be Italian. That's the kind of charm a star has. Okay, we'll check back with that.
Yeah.
Usagi's still trying to find her way around the crowd, and just when she thinks she's out of luck, the luck pulls her back in. She and Luna notice a roped-off area and a sign that says no admittance. Oh no. Is she going to get, sucked up into the chute?
Possibly.
Because some PA is going to grab her and be like, no, the schoolgirl scene was last week. Head to wardrobe, get a trench coat. Seiya's almost done with his afternoon chanting, so we're shooting soon. Come on, go. Usagi says, I can see Alice-chan and the others without any obstacles. And Usagi begins creeping backstage, but a voice says, hey, no admittance. And up from a park bench sits Seiya. So far, so good. Chanting's over.
Yeah.
Usagi starts apologizing profusely, but Seiya remembers their encounter in the airport and says, I encountered you in the airport. Oh, I guess you don't remember. And Usagi's like, have we met? And Seiya's like, are you saying that you don't recognize me? And Usagi's like, And Seiya's like, I guess I'm not as popular as I thought. And Usagi says, I get it. You're hitting on me. Well, I have a boyfriend. Seiya laughs and gets up and tells Usagi, you're pretty funny, and starts walking off backstage. Usagi says, rude. Hey, you can't go in there. Authorized people only. And Seiya says, I'm one of the authorized people. Later, dumpling. Usagi is furious. She says, no one calls me dumpling except Mamoru. Why, never. We cut to America where Victoria's like, can I call you Mama-chan?
Oh my God.
So tell me more about Tokyo. Back on set, the director calls for a break. I think actually the AD would probably call for the break. And Alice runs off to have her makeup checked. In front of the crowd, Mina, Mako, Ami, and Rei are drinking it in. But backstage, Usagi has decided, against Luna's advice, to continue to try and sneak around. As she wonders which way to go, Alice comes out of the makeup trailer and says, I'm ready to go. But a voice says, how wonderful your smile is. And we see, standing by the trailer, the white-haired girl from before.
Yes.
Who may or may not be the mascot of a pizza franchise. She says, "Your brightness that draws people to you is proof of a star." Alice, who can't see Malice 6 feet away from her, says, "Oh, thank you very much." And the little pizza lady says, "I came to see you for a special errand." And Alice is like, "If you want an autograph, I'm actually working right now." But the white-haired girl says, "I don't want a signature, but the seed of a star that you possess. A star seed." And she explodes into a white dress with white fur trim and white fur earmuffs. And speaking of ears, she has white dongos with pink sides that make them look like mouse ears.
Yep.
This is really thought through.
Yeah.
Alice screams, and Usagi hears it on the lot, turning to see the little mouse girl stalk Alice into the middle of the parking lot. The girl says, "Ha ha ha, don't be afraid. Your star seed, give it to me." And from 2 bracelets on her wrists, she fires golden balls of energy at Alice that collide with her, causing her to scream, and a flower to open on her head that
weird.
Fades away as an octagonal crystal emerges from it. You know, Sailor Moon shit. Usagi from her hiding place is shocked by this, and Luna says, "I know you haven't done this in a while, but transform!" She does, with a Moon Eternal makeup, and we get a full, feather-filled transformation.
Yes.
Mouse Girl is admiring the glittering starseed, but as she watches, the crystal stops shining and blackens. And she says, "Well, I don't want such a weak starseed. Who does?" We hear, "Hold it right there!" Atop a semi-trailer is Eternal Sailor Moon. She says, "I don't know who you are, but if you attack our idol, Itsuki Alice, I won't forgive you. In the name of the moon, I'll punish you." Mouse Girl seems unimpressed, and she says, "Oh goodness, you're a sailor soldier too?" Sailor Moon is shocked, as the girl says, "Well, with such a face, you can't be a star like me." Sailor Moon jumps down and says, "Who are you?" And the Mouse Girl says, "I am Sailor Iron Mouse." I think that was a Jet Li film.
A Jet Li film?
Yeah. Usagi says, "Sailor?" And Luna says, "Iron Mouse? Iron Mousu?" Sailor Iron Mouse says, "I'm done with my work for today. Do you want to play with my phage?" And Usagi says, "I have a boyfriend." And the black crystal above Alice's head sparks as tentacles rise up out of the ground and encase her in a black cocoon. Wasn't sure where that was going.
Really? What did you think was going to happen?
She's not on the internet. The cocoon shreds away, leaving a white-skinned, green-haired woman with green tights, a yellow tutu, and a pink bra that's 2 little fish kissing.
Yep.
I don't understand fashion. She says, "I'm Sailor Pretty." Oh, and she's holding a microphone, too.
Yes.
Sailor Moon is shocked. Who wouldn't be? And Iron Mouse says, "Everybody who loses the brightness of their starseed becomes a phage." Behind her, a phone booth materializes, and she steps into it as she says, "I'll leave the rest to you. Choo!" Which we know means either a kiss or the sound a mouse makes.
I know.
Thanks to Revolutionary Girl Utena. Patreon.com/Sailor Noob. But it means both in this case.
Yeah.
She's blowing a kiss goodbye, and she's also a mouse. Keeping it on brand. The phone booth disappears, but there's nowhere in the universe the BBC can't find them. Leaving Sailor Moon to face this chalky foe. I don't know how I got these scars. I forgot my microphone had spikes on it. Sailor Pretty says, "Hi, do you want to sing with me?" And spikes come out of her microphone as she swings it around and says, "Let's have fun!" And she swings the mic at Sailor Moon, who dodges frantically out of the way of the deadly piece of audio equipment. Luna says, "Sailor Moon, fight back!" But Usagi says, "No, she's Itsuki Alice-chan. I can't." The show. The Z-Files of young Sherlock Holmes. It looks bad, but we hear, penetrating the darkness of night, streaking through the atmosphere, resounding truth. We are the 3 shooting stars. And atop the other nearby semi appears 3 women in black leather with Madonna microphones.
Yes.
Come on, Vogue! It's not a request! I said move to the music! They introduce themselves as Sailor Starfighter, Sailor Star Maker, and Sailor Star Healer. The Sailor Starlights are here! Sailor Moon is like, "More Sailor Soldiers? I gotta get a lawyer." Sailor Pretty says, "You guys want to sing with me too?" And swings her mic at them, but Sailor Starfighter gives us a Sirius laser that shoots through and destroys the mic and then goes on to fry Sailor Pretty. Usagi stands aghast, but the Sailor Stars leap down as Fighter declares, "Now, I'll put you out of your misery." But Sailor Moon throws herself between the combatants and says, "Don't kill Alice-chan! Not till the finale's over." The stars say, "It's too late. Once a human becomes a phage, they can't be saved." And Fighter says, "Except by that person." Who is that? What is it? What is what? What is truth? Now out of the way. Sailor Moon says, "No." And Fighter says, "Move." And Sailor Moon says, "No." And as she does, the moon on her forehead begins to shine brightly. She thinks, "I won't let her die. I will save her." And we get something new. A starlight, honeymoon, therapy, kiss.
Yes.
What? There is a lot going on in that name.
Yes, there is.
Sailor Pretty is penetrated by the light from Sailor Moon's attack, and she screams, "Beautiful!" And she reverts again to Utsuki Alice, whose makeup is perfect. And we see her star seed once again clear and shining, withdraw back into her head. Relieved, Sailor Moon turns to the Sailor Stars, but they've disappeared. And she thinks, who are they? And will they countersue me for my use of starlight? But they're not gone, Usagi. Look up! When will you look up? Duh, they're in the trees! And Fighter says, what power she possesses. It seems to be getting fun. Later, the production of the Z-Files of Young Sherlock Holmes has wrapped, and the crew is packing up. The squad has had a good old time watching the show being filmed, and they see Usagi by herself, sitting on a park bench, holding Luna, saying to herself, the enemy was a sailor soldier. The ones who helped me were sailor soldiers. Ray asks her, hey, where have you been? And Usagi says, well, you know what? I don't really know what happened. And Ray says, what do you mean by that? And Usagi says, oh, not that again. What is that? What is that? It's that thing. That thing? What is it? Third base. Is this the new that is that and this is this? Remember
I think so, yes.
That is that.
And this is
this. Which is like, I can't believe George Costanza never said that. You know what I mean? That's just a perfect George Costanza
Sounds like something
line.
that would come out of his mouth.
Well, I feel like I've got a lot to say.
Yeah?
But I don't know what order to say it in. We
go
can talk
for
about that.
That, or this is this, and that is that.
The thing is that like you can euphemize sex to the point of complete abstraction. So if we're talking about sex, then that's why we say, you know that rock and roll is a euphemism for sex?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I don't mean the music. I mean
the name.
The title rock and roll. Yeah. But if you say like, oh, you're doing the vertical tango, I mean, that's pretty tortured, but like we understand. Oh, I see what you mean. But you just go like, pronoun, or just like simple noun. Then we don't know what we're talking about. Now, I know they're not talking about sex. They're talking about him proposing to her.
Yes.
Marriage.
Yes.
But you think that these girls, Usagi talks about marriage all the time. So why can't they say marriage? Why does it have to be that? Because now I think they're talking about that. If I say, we're talking about that, you immediately know I mean sex.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not what they're doing. But anyway, that's not what I want to talk about. What I wanted to talk about was the Z-Files of Young Sherlock Holmes. Now, I'm only up to the 4th season, but I'm pretty sure that, what is this? What?
I don't know what this is.
I know that there is a Detective Boy Conan.
Yes.
Or Conan. Conan. I like Conan. So they got that. There's a lot. Japanese love Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
Is Z-Files like X-Files?
I never thought about that, but maybe.
Well, I'm a genius. I also love the X-Files. So if what you're pitching me is young Sherlock Holmes is going to investigate UFOs, I mean, why doesn't this show exist?
Yeah, I'd be totally in.
We can recast Utsuki Alice. That's fine. We can lose her. That's all right. But I got to see this show.
Well, I want to know who plays Holmes in it. I mean, there's the 3 lights, or not the 3 lights. Lights.
Seems to be like the putative lead singer of this thing.
That's true. So you think Seo would be Holmes?
I suppose.
Okay.
Does that leave Yaten?
Yaten.
Is Yaten Dr. Watson? A healer.
I think...
I'm a doctor, man. I'm a doctor. Let me through. I'm a doctor. I'm a doctor. Well, as a doctor, right?
Well,
I
I
don't know
guess...
if you know he's a doctor.
Yeah. So who would be Watson and who would be Moriarty or something like that?
Oh. Ooh. Maybe you say as Moriarty.
Oh, okay.
Because they're not... So first of all, they're in their red suit.
Yes.
Which is like... Don't you have to get in costume? Or are you wearing this in the show?
Right.
Because... And then we see Yaten...
You're just gonna say it that way all the time.
Well, I actually looked it up. It does make a lot of sense. You probably already got this down, but I'm gonna beat you to the punch. That Yaten means night sky.
Okay.
Seiya means star arrow.
Okay.
And Taiki is an overrated New Zealand filmmaker. No. Taiki is shine.
Okay.
So they all have star-related names.
Yes.
So that's where you get that from.
Okay.
But when they're shooting, they are together. We see them together.
Yes.
So I don't know if that's the Holmes-Watson pair. It seems like...
I see what you're saying.
Taiki's taller.
Yes. So Taiki
Sherlock.
would be Holmes then. Yeah. Okay.
Young Sherlock.
Right.
They're going to fight a living stained glass window. That's the first CGI in a movie. Did you know that?
Oh my God.
Well, let me just get it out.
Yes.
I feel like I can do it again.
Do what again?
I feel refreshed. Within reason. If I had to run a marathon and then as I crossed the finish line, Jigsaw cut my leg off with an ingenious trap.
Oh my gosh.
Then I rested for a week. I would feel revitalized, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
I'd be missing a leg.
Yes, you would.
But I would have more energy.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Okay.
Crippled but ready to continue.
Well, I'm glad you feel like ready to continue. Like how much of a difference is it coming off of last week to this
Huge. Week? That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that, like, when you sit down and, like, you know, I'm getting ready to watch it and I'm sort of taking notes and I'm like, last time on, now they're in here. Now they're walking up the stairs. Now they're doing this. That is not nearly as interesting to me as, and maybe it's because this is what they fed us for 150 episodes and then decided it was going to be something different. But that's what I want. I want, oh, she's got toast in her mouth, but maybe not because she's mature now. Now she's got an English muffin in her mouth.
Yeah, right.
And we've got some problem and somebody likes something and then we find out that, you know, the bad guys also like that thing and then we're going to fight over it. And it's just like getting back to the formula.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
Good.
That was very pleasing.
Good.
Not having to, like, just episode after episode. Why are you doing this? Mom, oh no. Oh.
Oh no.
Except for one glaring omission.
I think I know what you're going to say.
No Chibi-usa.
I know.
I don't know if I can go on. I'm like Usagi. Just me crying in the shower singing, never give up.
Oh no. I know. I was upset that they didn't at least have a scene where she, like, leaves. It's just, like, one throwaway line that, like, oh, she's gone back to the future. It's like...
She went back to her home planet.
Yeah, exactly. It felt like that.
Yeah, well, they didn't want to overshadow what was going on with... They got work to do with Usagi and Mamoru.
I know.
We got to build. Chibi exists. We already know that's going to happen. But how do we get to that? And so we've got to start building that now.
I guess so. I know.
I don't know the words.
All of you relax. This is a matter of inconvenient timing, that's all. Rebooting the podcast was inevitable. This is simply the beginning. I thought I told all of you I want broadcast silence until further...
Ooh, I'm very sorry, Cal. I didn't get that message. Maybe you should have put it on Twitter. I figured since you were relaunching the Just Enough Trope podcast, you might be a little lonely, so I decided to be your co-host.
That's very kind of you. I assume you're our mysterious podcaster. You're most troublesome for a Sailor Moon fan?
Sorry, Cal. Wrong guess. Would you like to go for an all-new show where the hosts haven't really changed?
Who are you, then?
Just a fly in the ointment, Cal. The dye in the hard. The moon and the lighting.
She's talking about the rebooted Just Enough Trope, where we'll dive deep into the pop culture elements that make up your favorite movies, TV shows, comics, and video games. See if she's lying about moonlighting and find out if Bruno has returned.
No, respect yourself.
Miss Mystery Guest, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Unless you want to sing a duet with me.
No, I'm afraid not. But you have me at a loss. You know my name, but who are you? Just another podcast host who saw too many movies as a child? Another orphan of a bankrupt culture who thinks she's John McClane, Corbin Dallas, a crooning Alcopop pitchman?
I was always kind of partial to Seagram's Golden Wine Cooler, actually. It's wet and it's dry.
Do you really think you have a chance with this new show, Ms. Co-host?
Yippee-ki-yay, Mother Cooler.
Just Enough Trope, 40 stories of sheer pop culture deconstruction. Available everywhere you listen to your favorite shows.
Do I sound like I'm ordering a podcast?
Today for Kyoro Kyoro Miru, or Curiously Looking Around, where we talk about elements of Japanese culture within the episode, we're going to be talking about engagement and arranged marriage in Japan.
Okay, so we're doubling down.
We are.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
That?
There used to be a subtle, indirect way to ask someone to marry you in Japan.
Yeah, give him a ring with a heart on it.
Well, this might be part of it.
Huh?
Because apparently
Give him the look.
it used to be really subtle was the preferred way.
So no kneeling down in the middle of a baseball game or something like that, and
That was what used to be popular.
turn around on Tokyo Towers lit up, with the characters. Will you marry me, Sheila? We had to write all that part out. It went into the ground a little bit.
So there's a saying that goes, quote, "Would you make miso soup for me every day?" In other words, would you cook and clean and take care of me every day?
Wow.
I don't know if you remember this, but last season, Usagi mentioned something about how she would make miso soup for Mamo every day.
Okay.
So I think it's a reference to this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Now it's like, will you, hit like on all my Facebook posts every day?
That's a good one.
Will you leave seen on my Facebook messengers every day?
Another subtle way to ask someone to marry you in Japan was, quote, "Do you want to lie in the same grave with me?"
Oh, that's rock. That's metal. Yeah.
So the inference was that her ashes would be placed in the family plot of the cemetery, suggesting marriage. And both of these ways of popping the question have gone out of style.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except I think Rob Zombie proposed to Sherry that way.
Probably.
You lie in the same grave with me and I hope they bump their hair.
Oh my God. It is recommended that you get the parents' blessing to marry their daughter. Many Japanese fathers would be upset if they weren't asked.
Still today?
Yeah, still today. In traditional families, an engagement isn't complete until an engagement ceremony called yunio. Younger, middle-class Japanese only had a casual ceremony with a dinner between families. More wealthy couples had theirs in the traditional style, which cost upwards of tens of thousands of US dollars.
So this is after you've popped the question, then this is like we got engaged party.
This is actually, we know we're going to get engaged, and we're going to have this engagement ceremony.
So, boy, we've talked about how they don't care about surprise. They really don't.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you ask if I want to marry you, make sure we'll wait, after the soup, before the salads. All right?
Right.
Don't screw this up. Do single ladies, do unmarried women live with their families?
Yes.
But They've got the bacon, they're frying it in the pan?
It's actually very common. When I was over there, I had some conversation partners who were Japanese,
Yeah.
and they were a little bit older than me when I was over there. I was like 21. I was in college.
Yeah.
And they were like maybe 25-ish or so, but they lived with their parents.
Well, I mean, it's 25-year-old living with their parents in the 21st century is not that weird.
No,
but...
no.
Okay.
So it's very common for them to live at home until they get married.
So when I see these anime about Nana or Agretsuko or whatever, where
Yeah.
it's like, I'm living in the city, I got a job. It's like that. They're kind of pioneers still. They're kind of doing something that not everybody does.
Well, I think, that's also something that people can do.
No, I mean, they can do it.
Yeah.
But you're saying that it's
not as common,
traditional
maybe.
still. It's really not that weird for...
It's not that weird.
Because nowadays, like, if you were 25 and you're living with your parents, you'd be like, get out of here.
Yeah, I know. But
And
I
there's
think
no
it's
social.
not...
There's social pressure for you to leave, not for you to stay.
Yeah.
But it seems like it sort of goes both ways.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
The nakodo is the intermediary for the families. They are an important part of the Japanese arranged marriages called omiai. The intermediary is an older, social, higher-ranking individual who arranges the potential couple's first meeting. Should both individuals want to pursue marriage, the intermediary then moves forward with planning the engagement ceremony.
Oh my God.
So-
There's a third party.
Yeah.
So so you're CCing the intermediary as well.
Yes.
And you go, I think we're going to do it. Yeah, I think we're going to do it. So, I haven't asked her yet, but on the day that I do, I would like you to help plan this thing.
Yes,
before
exactly.
I finally do this.
And then they also attend the engagement ceremony.
Goodbye, bachelorhood. They don't care about surprise.
Yeah. During a traditional engagement ceremony...
You don't put it in the octopus or anything? All
No.
right, come on. The ring.
The ring. Yeah.
You've got rings of octopus and engagement ring. All right, never mind.
During a traditional engagement ceremony, the two families meet over dinner, and the man and his family presents the girls with a set of symbolic gifts.
So everybody comes loaded for bear. Everybody comes to this knowing that this is going to happen.
Yes, absolutely. It's not a surprise at all.
How would you know if people in Japanese society felt like their lives weren't spontaneous enough?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Do you ever think they just go, she's like, that was a great engagement ceremony. Oh, so nice. I wonder what would happen if it was a surprise. I wonder how I would have felt. I wonder if it would have been something that I would have told my girlfriends about forever.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, dessert. Shortcake, 3 shortcake.
So the gifts depend on the region, but here's what's traditional. Katsuboshi is dried bonito. It represents manliness. Virility. Yeah.
Oh, how?
I guess because the flakes are
Waving around.
they're waving around.
Men are just waving around all the time.
They're I don't know.
Okay, well, you don't have to prize that one out. That's okay.
Naganoshi is a type of dried clam. It represents avoiding bad fortune.
Dried clam?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's
Do
a
you
lot
like
of dried
clams
seafood.
but think they're not chewy enough? Well, Naganoshi is the thing for you.
That's right.
You'll be chewing all night on this dried clam.
I know.
Also works as rubber bands.
Kombu represents having healthy children and fertility.
Konbu is
Kombu is like a kind of seaweed kelp.
seaweed kelp.
Yeah, that you can eat. It's often in miso soup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Surume is a type of dried squid representing a long-lasting marriage since it lasts for a long time.
I mean, rice lasts a long time.
That's true. Rice does last a long time. I think they mean without it going bad, but rice also lasts a long time without it going bad. But Suehiro is a pair of fans representing prosperity. It can differ, but one is usually gold and the other is white.
Okay.
Gidaru is a lacquered sake barrel that is small enough to fit in your hands. It's a charm to avoid a wasteful wife.
Oh, you gotta watch out for that.
I know, which I was just like, that's like kind of sexist, isn't it? There's nothing to avoid a wasteful husband. So, what's up with that? That's what I want to know.
Here's a Miller Lite pony can. I hope your wife's not a whore. What's the connection?
I don't know.
All right.
Tomo Shiraga is a white hemp thread representing the white hair of an old couple. Takasago is a pair of dolls that representing growing old together. It's specifically given in the Kansai region.
Those are cute.
Yeah.
The Kansai, they really know where it's at.
Yeah, I think so
Hey,
too.
here's your white hemp thread. The Kansai dialect.
Yes, Kansai Ben.
Oh. I still want to know what it sounds like to a Japanese speaker.
Yeah, I want to know that too.
I was thinking about it. Because in America, there's a thing where, look, I'm not going to make any demographic assumptions here. But people from the South talk a certain way.
Sure. And
you wouldn't think that a person with a thick Southern accent would be an astrophysicist. Although there are astrophysicists with thick Southern accents.
Of
it
course.
has nothing to do. But there is a unfair stereotype or assumption about that, right?
Yeah.
And we have that kind of from north to south.
Yeah.
Although I know a lot of dumb guys named Oli. And that's about it. I mean, somebody talks like they're from California, you might make some assumptions, but nothing really. Somebody talks about the lobsters. Yeah. You don't really make any assumptions. You know what I mean? It's more like a north-south divide.
Yeah.
So we've
I think
got
by
that
and large.
north-south divide. But Japan is different.
Yes.
Because they've gone a north and a south, but they're closer to each other.
Yes.
Because it's a skinny banana island. And then you've also got an island up top and kind of an island down there, too.
Yes.
And so it's probably more of a regional thing, isn't it?
I think it is.
And people from the city, most of the big cities on the south part of the big island,
Yes.
would probably talk, well, this is like talking the right way. But if you were from some village up north, you'd be like, oh gosh, I don't know about that. And you'd be like, oh, this guy, he's not going to discover gravity. Not worried about that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So it's all, it's spread out differently.
Yeah. I went to summer camp and we were talking about accents one time because there were kids from all over the U.S. and stuff like that.
Oh, this is in America. Right?
Yeah. And a friend of mine who I'd been in the same cabin with her for years, and she's from Louisiana, and she straight up said, I don't have an accent. And it was like, okay, you can't hear yourself. That's all right. But.
Yeah, but you were like, oh, jeez.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you sure do.
Oh, Christ. Oh, man.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Bridal money is also given. The amount depends on the financial standing of the man, but it's supposed to be about 3 or 4 times his monthly pay.
Oh, gotta get engaged.
Yeah, it's similar to a dowry, except it goes to the wife's family.
Okay.
Only once the rings have been exchanged does the traditional engagement ceremony finish and engagement is official. Omiai, which is the arranged marriage,
right.
literally means to look at each other.
Look at me. Look at me.
Look at me.
We're gonna get married, I guess.
From Wikipedia, quote, the term omiai is sometimes mistranslated as arranged marriage, but it can be described as a meeting opportunity with more serious considerations for the future as a process of courtship. According to the National Institute of Population and Social Security Research, in 2005, it was estimated that around 6.2% of marriage in Japan are arranged via omiai.
So this is less like a religious, we need to get you two together, your babies, see you when you're 18, and more of a call up Lazar Wolf. Right? Like get the matchmaker in here,
Yes.
find somebody. We got two singles here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Modern forms of omiai are still practiced in Japan today by various marriage agencies. However, practices such as konkatsu or spouse hunting parties have also emerged as alternatives to omiai for many single people who struggle to find a marriage partner, but might not want to go through a matchmaker. So konkatsu, it's basically it's like a singles party, essentially. Like you go because you're serious about finding somebody to marry.
Like speed dating.
It's kind of like that, yeah. And I read an article about there was a cruise ship, and they were saying that 25 young women who wanted to get married or what have you could go on the cruise for free if they would do a screening. And then
it's ladies' voyage, everybody.
Yeah. And
oh, what a voyage.
And then the men would have to pay to go on it.
Yeah. No, I get it.
But
How
get
many
to
men
see
were there?
The same amount as
what? No, you gotta overstuff it to look. These ladies, they need to be at work, right? They get to go free.
Yeah.
That's what ladies' night is.
Yeah,
ladies can come here for free, but you go on ladies' night. There's like 5 ladies. You've heard the Flight of the Conchords song. This is how it works.
Yeah, right.
But that's the ladies are gonna go home with somebody. A lot of those guys aren't. You don't
That's
care
true.
if the guys paid. They paid. You got their money. You don't care if they go home single.
But yeah, so like they have pictures of the women and everything too, so the men see that before they decide they're gonna go.
This feels transactional.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's kind of gross.
And a great reality show too.
I bet it would be a good reality show, actually. There is a National Matchmaking Association, Zenkoku Nakudo Rengo Kai. This service provides one-on-one deliberation to people who want to get married. It follows the Nakudo rule more closely than some other services. The National Matchmaking Association combines the traditional Nakudo with the more modern database to arrange meetings between patrons. These matchmakers meet with each patron for an hour at a time to go through possible future spouses and come up with short lists from which the meetings will be scheduled. Anniversaire is a Tokyo-based weddings and events company that in recent years has leapt into the thriving business of marriage proposal consulting. In Japan, it generally involves steering men in their late 20s and early 30s through the finer points of getting to yes.
It's Hitch Inc.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, that's a movie right there.
It could totally be.
Look, we've all seen Hitch. We love Hitch. It was great. But how do we escalate this premise? Hitches draws a line through the S. $.
Nice. Anniversaire began handling inquiries from anxious grooms-to-be starting in 2014. The trend was fueled by the rise of social media, said Fumika Nishimura, a proposal planner who also arranges weddings for the firm in Tokyo. Quote, "We get a lot of women asking for redos," end quote, Nishimura said. One couple who had already scheduled their wedding paid extra fees to schedule a luxurious reenactment of their engagement at the Anniversaire's luxurious wedding hall.
Okay, well, here's a question that I haven't asked up to this point.
Yes.
Is this for rich people?
I mean, you have to pay fees, so...
I mean, everybody has to be a rich person to get married these days. Like, I get it. But, like, they're like, oh, that engagement party was okay, but now we want all of our friends and their dates and people that we met one time to all come and see this. That's what a wedding reception is.
Yeah, I know.
Why the engagement party?
Tradition. But
tradition. This was started in 2014.
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
this sounds like a way to like market like this thing. Hey, did you have one engagement party? Want to do a bigger one with a DJ? Come to Anniversaire.
Yeah. Right. I think that like this is maybe different than the engagement party, though.
It sounds like a reenactment of their engagement.
It is a reenactment of their engagement.
Right.
The minimum price of about $200 buys just an hour with a proposal consultant, plus a 30-minute location rental fee. At the company's fashionable site in Tokyo, the romantic destination of choice is the chapel, a recently renovated church featuring royal blue carpeting and 140-year-old stained glass.
Ooh.
Yeah. Which is kind of interesting that, you know, Japan, that's not a Christian country, would, you know, idolize having an engagement in this place.
What was the last number that we landed on? It was like, was it 20%? 25?
Something like that.
Or lower? 18.
It might have been lower.
Yeah. Well, considering the fact that before it was just, you know, in the big room at a Sizzler, maybe they're like, oh, it seems, I like the pomp and the circumstance of it.
Yeah.
Got the organ light coming in through that guy.
Through that guy.
Jesus? Isn't it Jesus?
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Yeah.
Also, I can't, look, man. Every country's a Christian country, right? That stuff gets everywhere.
Well, you're right about that.
Plus, you know, we kind of took them over for a while. And then also, you know, the movies get everywhere. You see
I think that's a lot of
John
it.
Cusack and Kate Beckinsale in a church, and you're like, oh, all right, let's try that out.
Yeah. I think that's a really
I
popular...
don't know if they ever make it to a church in Serendipity.
Nishimura helps jittery suitors write their patter. Unless it's short and to the point, like marry me.
Marry me!
She advises reading from carefully composed notes. With one extremely nervous customer, Nishimura ended up writing the whole proposal for herself.
Webster's dictionary defines marriage as...
I know. Some men also fret about which leg to kneel on. Either one works, but the best camera angle is on the men's open side.
You got to cheat out
Yeah.
when you're proposing.
Exactly.
You got to cheat out to the camera.
Everybody knows that. More than 2,000 proposals later, Nishimura said that not a single suitor has been rejected. Quote, if the client is putting down cash for a proposal, the couple is more or less already on the same page about settling down.
She said while she lit a cigar with a 100 yen bill. Or a 1,000 yen bill.
Yeah.
Sorry, conversion rate. The cigar was smaller too.
Most clients are willing to shell out for extras like renting formal wear or having the soon-to-be fiancé taken to the engagement site via stretch limo.
With the child locks on the doors.
Yeah, right. Bringing the average price in 2022 to almost $1,000.
You keep this all. We taught money. We talk about money. Everything's money. We got this. We got the planner. Got this. Got that. It's $1,000. That's nothing.
Yeah, you're right. It is.
You would have to put $1,000 down on your venue, you know, if not more, for a reception or something like
right.
that.
Yeah.
1,000 American. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull a Gene Roddenberry. Get married in Japan.
Not to get married, just the engagement part.
All right. That's 2,000. Oh no.
That fee doesn't include the purchase of the engagement ring, obviously, nor the contemporary custom of presenting a fiancé with an enormous bouquet of 108 roses, a number that in Japanese also means forever.
What?
The number 100.
No, I understand. Why? Is that an I Ching thing or something?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know where it comes from.
Japanese numerology next time.
There you go. In this case, the floral bouquet weighs more than 10 pounds and costs close to $400.
Okay. So still, that's not a 10-pound bouquet for $400.
Yeah.
We're doing this all wrong.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. Clients can opt to have the moment immortalized in a cinematic style film. The company's online examples from actual customers, they aren't exactly Hollywood movie, but they aim to get folks to tear up.
Yeah. Well, or you have your cousin do it.
Yeah, right.
He's got Final Cut.
In 2014, Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe set aside 3 billion yen to help with omiai and konkatsu matchmaking companies within Japan as a part of the Japanese government's attempt to increase the reduced birth rate in Japan.
Okay. Well, in every fun story, a little rain must fall.
I'm sorry.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, I know that they're worried about that,
Yep.
but, well, 3 billion is 300 million. 30 million?
I should have converted it.
Do the conversion in your head right now. Let's say 30 million.
Sure.
All right. I guess that's not that much, but you weirdo.
It's a lot,
Don't
though.
miss them. Don't miss them.
No, I don't miss them either.
Yeah, the Hitch business is fine and dandy, doing well in Japan.
It is doing well. Yeah.
That's kind of so. I don't watch these shows, but you watch the matchmaking show.
Yeah, I do.
These are different matchmakers.
Yeah, I haven't seen a matchmaking show for Japan.
Right, but they're in different countries.
Yes.
The horrible, unmarriable women that they,
oh my
that
god,
are on this show. Where are they at? They're doing good. They're young professionals. They're heiresses.
They're young professionals.
Okay.
They're heiresses.
Oh, they are?
Maybe.
All right, I'm going to stick with what I said before. And then they're like, oh, he's not tall enough. Oh, it's not enough hair.
Yeah, a lot of times that is what
are
happens.
there any surprises on the show?
Yeah, there's a lot of surprises.
Like
the matchmaker,
the surprises when love happens.
The Indian matchmaker, she is like, they'll tell
all
her
different. I mean, they're the culture. Of,
I know, but like she'll go to clients and they'll say they'll give like a laundry list of things that they want, and she's like, you're only going to get about maybe 80-70%, if that.
And they nod and don't hear it.
Yeah, exactly.
You can just look in their brain and the hamster's asleep on the wheel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
I couldn't watch. Some people can't watch like cringe comedy because they're like,
yeah,
I know it's funny, but it's just I feel too bad for the people. That's like watching car crashes for me. Just watching these people just be so ignorant about, and so entitled about like what they want, you know. I guess they hired somebody to show them a list of people, and so you're paying for it. I understand that, but like being like, no, go on a date with a guy and be like, he slurps his soup. It's like you're 35. You want to get married.
I know.
I can't believe what. I can't watch that. But this sounds delightful. I'm in favor of all this. It's a burgeoning industry. Why not? That lady's got a boat. She's doing fine. And the family obviously gets excited about it. You know, they have the dinner and everything. They're giving gifts.
Yeah.
Like here, you know, you're lucky to know your spouse's family. No, I don't know. But I mean, a lot of this could just go off and it's an email, you know?
Yeah, right.
So at least it's about the tradition of the family, keeping the family together and meeting the people you'll be taking care of when you get older. But that's important.
True.
That's good.
That is important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it only costs $59.95.
Each dakimasu with Usagi. What did Usagi eat in this episode? At Fruits Parlor Crown, they are drinking melon soda, orange soda, tea, or coffee.
This is a bad sign.
Yeah?
It's an early sign, but we gotta get some food back here. I'm hoping with Mamo gone, Usagi's, takes a look at the elastic waistband of her high school skirt and she's like, this can go out a little more.
Oh my gosh.
She's gonna eat her feelings.
Oh.
I want to see it.
You want to see it?
Yeah.
Because you want to see food.
Well, yeah, but also I just think I want her to act like a human being. Like, what's she gonna do?
Yeah, that's true.
Go back to the hentai gym?
Oh my god, no.
Remember like episode 4 was a gym episode?
Yes, I do.
Where women were being
that.
drained of their energy? Weird.
It was weird.
Jadeite is in a special hell.
He is.
The hell of getting run over by 747.
Yeah.
And Boeing's like, we did not do that.
Villain Gauge, where we rate a baddie 1 to 5 dark stars, 5 being the most wicked. The phage is named Sailor Buri, is what I heard.
Booty?
Buri.
All right. Like beauty.
Yeah, I guess it's like beauty, kind of.
What would booty be? This isn't a booty.
Well, I'll tell you what it's a reference to.
Okay.
Sailor Buri is a pun on the word buriko, which is a slang term referring to a cutesy girl. The first kanji in the word buri literally means yellowtail tuna, which explains the fish-themed outfit.
Huh. Okay, I think I'm getting all that. So wait a minute. My sub lied to me then.
What did they call her again?
Beauty.
Beauty.
Sailor Beauty.
Well, see, I like that.
I mean, it fits.
Yeah, it does fit.
We'll see what the next one is. And
Yeah.
if the pattern continues.
Yeah.
I think it fits.
It
just don't
does.
understand why she's a fish.
Well, supposedly it's because
of booty.
Yeah.
All right. Wait a minute. I gotta check my subs on this one. They're lying to us. Okay.
The villain design, she has skin as white as snow, green eyes, and red hair. Her shirt is a bikini top with 2 pink fish kissing, and a yellow fuku collar is attached to it. She has green leggings, which have a yellow strip on them. She has a short yellow skirt attached to her legging. There's also a yellow fish fin on her back and a yellow fish fin tail coming out of her skirt. She has bright red lipstick and pink blush. She has a black headband that has 2 green fish eyes on it. The rest of her hair after the headband is green. Her ears are also like fish creature-like. They almost look like they're webbed.
Yeah. Real Joker's daughter in a transporter accident with a sturgeon vibe going on. Should I point out too, phage, what phage means?
Can you please?
Phage is, the root is Greek, I believe, and it means eats, to eat, or something that eats. So when you have phage within a word scientifically, it's, something that eats or preys on something else.
Okay,
so the way that it gets used a lot is in virology. Like a bacteriophage is a type of virus.
Okay.
That attacks bacteria. I guess this is all right. I went to biology school a long time ago. Archaea as well.
Okay.
Not just bacteria. And it's interesting to note. It's a different shape, but the head of a virus, where its genetic material is kind of crystal shaped.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Interesting.
It is. It has, vertices and planes.
Okay,
and
sure.
It's sort of like a crystal shape.
Interesting.
Like a dice, like a D&D dice.
Okay. Well, that kind of fits with us
seeds.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Huh.
I don't know what that means. Anything?
I'm thinking maybe it
These
does.
girls are kind of getting infected by something, aren't they? And then they're becoming sailor booties. Shake your sailor booty.
So now we're up to our rating. She has a microphone that has spikes that come out of it, and so it becomes like a small mace. And she twirls it around in its cord and throws it at Sailor Moon.
Maybe a mace or a flail?
A flail, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I did
All
say
right.
D&D before.
You did. I took that to heart. Sailor Moon doesn't want to attack her because she's Alisu. She didn't get a chance to do a whole lot, I feel like. The design is interesting. The fish thing is kind of a lot. She did fine, but I'm going to give her 3 out of 5 dark stars.
I hate it when we have the same rating, but mine is a 3 as well. It's fine. Look, I like the return to the one-off villain Yoma, phage in this case.
Yes.
Phages, I guess you say?
I guess so.
It's before Rod Stewart went solo. His phages. Yeah, I mean, like, it's solid. It's fine. Again, these days, a Sailor Moon episode, it's a complicated affair. So we got plenty of things to do. We're not here to hear you spill out your personal history about how you didn't get invited to your brother-in-law's engagement party, and so therefore you're going to take your anger out on the Sailor Scouts. Also, you're a ball with lipstick on. We don't really do those anymore, and so I'm hoping to get some more involved. Remember the lady that shoot goo everywhere?
Yeah.
At the dance class? I'm hoping to get like some more monsters that have a little more personality.
Me too.
This is basically just like, I'm a crazy clown in a haunted house from the 90s, But then there's like a musical aspect, but she never sings or does anything like that.
No, she doesn't.
Like, speaking of, what are the fish always singing on this show? Remember Electrofish?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so, anyway, cool weapon.
Yeah.
Little yo-yo gaburi stuff
Oh,
going on.
sure. I didn't think about that.
But yeah, it's, it's fine. It's box standard. I'd say it's a 3.
Yeah. Well, speaking of beauty, we're going to try something new on the show this season. Because every phage is dispatched while screaming, "Beautiful!" We thought it might be fun to meet the show halfway and talk about beauty practices and beauty products in Japan.
Finally!
It's a segment that we like to call Minute Clinique.
I don't know where we're going to put all the webbies. We got to buy a second house. All right, well, why not steer into it? It's the last season.
Yeah.
Complain about makeup.
We're going to be
Everything's
talking about it.
Let's just start talking about makeup.
That's right.
All right.
So an important part of taking care of yourself is hygiene. And so we're going to be talking about baths in Japan.
Okay.
So they take baths at home called ofuro.
Ofuro.
In communal bathhouses are called sento.
We talked about that.
And hot springs, onsen. We talked about onsen in episode 40.
I never thought, yeah, we did. And so, because it's 40, it was a while ago. So
Yeah.
you just get the shampoo and you just...
So you clean
It's okay
yourself.
to get soap in the onsen?
No, you wash yourself and do your shampoo and everything before you get into the water.
Okay, so what's the pre-bath called? And then you get into the onsen.
I don't know what the pre-bath is called specifically.
All right.
But
hey, don't make any manju with this. It's got pert in it.
oh my gosh. They wash their bodies in ritual purification ceremonies called misogi. Japanese bathe typically in the evening. First, they shower and scrub thoroughly. Next, they step into the tub and relax for 10 to 15 minutes. The water temperature should be comfortable to the skin, typically between 38 and 40 degrees Celsius or 100 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit.
It's hot.
It's hot.
Are these like the skinny tubs? The bucket tubs that they got?
At home, yes.
Okay.
They're like deep. And
yeah,
they're more deep than they are wide, I think, almost.
Your coffin capsule tub, not the clawfoot bathtub.
No, not clawfoot.
Yeah. Okay.
No, they're deeper than that and
skinnier,
skinnier,
less wide.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
After bathing, they put on comfortable clothes and power down to deepen their relaxation. The Japanese call this yuagari after bathing.
After bathing.
Uh-huh.
Can you imagine if you had the time to after bathe?
That would be fantastic.
What would that be like?
I would probably feel like a whole new person.
What time is this? They took a 90-minute train ride home. How does this even work?
Well, they make time for the bath.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, it does. The Japanese enhance their bathing experience with a variety of herbs known for their skin-enriching and therapeutic properties. Green tea baths tighten pores and alleviate skin irritation and augment moisture retention.
And, you get thirsty, a little
sip? Yeah, there you go.
more sugar.
Yuzu baths offer refreshing and moisturizing benefits, courtesy of aromatic essential oils. Hinoki baths boast antimicrobial properties, aid in lowering blood pressure, uplift mood, and emanate the tranquil aroma reminiscent of Japanese bathhouses.
That's like the experience of the bathhouse in your own home.
Yeah.
This is the Sasquatch soap.
Right.
What's hinoki?
It's a kind of wood.
Oh.
And it has a really fragrant smell.
It is like Sasquatch soap.
Yeah, it is.
I like the pine tar myself.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to smell like Babe Ruth.
Yomogi leaves baths infused with the invigorating aroma of sinole essentials. These baths nourish the skin, alleviate conditions like eczema, and provide relief to aching joints and muscles.
Okay. That sounds good too.
Yeah.
So you have all these in like an array of squirt things by the tub.
Sure.
Tonight I'm going to do 2 green teas and 1 hinoki, I think.
And a splash of yuzu.
Yeah, my shoulder's bugging me. Put some yomogi in there. Just a squirt of Artemisia.
Yes.
Ooh, we're getting low on the citron. Ooh.
I've seen before where they put actual yuzu in the tub and just have them floating.
And if you get hungry.
Yeah, there you go. You got a whole meal. You drink the green tea.
Yeah, some potatoes and carrots.
Yeah, all right.
Maybe you got a stew going.
I do have some trivia.
Maybe you got a you going.
You going. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, too late.
That's good.
Too late.
I do have some trivia for this episode. This is the first time since episode 43 of the series that a non-combatant was turned into a monster.
Yeah, we're going back to the old ancient Yoma reincarnations.
Yes, exactly.
Are we going to get a Red Butler 2?
That'd be awesome.
I'll tell you, this cat has it. It? That? What? It's got that special quality. A little gem comes out of its head.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Starlight Honeymoon Therapy Kiss is named for the first time in this episode.
Let's talk.
Yes, let's.
Starlight,
Yep.
on brand.
Yes.
Honeymoon, premature.
Yeah.
Therapy, usually, having halations or escalations, that usually they come at it a little more obliquely.
Yes.
But they're just like, this is going to help you. It's therapy. And then, kiss. I don't know. We can't end it with, it can't be
tired.
Starlight Honeymoon Therapy.
Yeah.
That sounds like, when you go to Niagara Falls, but then you get in a fight, down the road is Starlight Honeymoon Therapy. But this is going to be a kiss.
Yes.
I like it when they're like kind of vaguely threatening in their healing power. They're like, Moon, buckshot, healing juice. It's like, what?
You scared me off and then you kind of got me at the end.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
It's a lot. It's wordy. And there's just a lot of, like you were saying, very specific things that these words invoke.
Yeah.
And the therapy kiss, like, gets me.
I don't want to blame everything on Ikuhara, but he's definitely a wordsmith.
Yeah.
You think they lost him? They're like, therapy? I'm not going to call him. We can't call him. Look up synonyms for therapy. Guy just looks at him like, we're Japanese. Have you seen a Japanese thesaurus? I gotta imagine that's pretty tough, right?
What do you mean?
It's just like one character, but then also maybe 8 or 9 other characters. And then each one of those characters is like, well, it could be this, but in Chinese it's this. It'd be like, you have to hyperlink the whole thing.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Yeah, you're right.
You deliver a Japanese thesaurus in a semi-truck. Volume 1.
Oh my God.
I'm working on my Japanese language bits here.
I mean, I think maybe you could kind of blame it on Ikuhara, but Nako called it that in the manga. So
I love it when I'm totally wrong. I love it when I'm just why attribute to conspiracy when lack of effort will suffice. Do you know what I mean? At this point, she's like, yeah, all right, I'll do the 5th one for the money. When do you think she ran out of ideas?
I don't know. I mean, I know that like they didn't know that they were going to get a second season when they did the first one.
But like all successful manga, at some point it becomes a push-pull of like, we've got a lot of guys hunched over paper with pencils, ready to draw. What do you got? She's like, I don't know. They go to the moon or something.
Supposedly her manager came up with Chibiusa, or the idea of the daughter from the future.
Well, I like to shake that person's hand.
Yeah, I know.
He's like, I saw this great movie where this robot tries to kill a lady.
What?
Because her baby's going to be special.
Oh, okay. Yes.
How old's the baby? Well, what if the baby rides a dirt bike around and goes, no problemo? All right, we're not doing that. Can they go easy money? Sure.
The ending theme was changed to the second version of The Wind, the Sky, Shirley.
Don't call me Shirley.
The new version is more upbeat than the first version.
Oh, I didn't even notice. Okay.
It's very subtle.
All right.
I had to go back and listen to it.
They're like, no, we'll try it again.
In the Viz dub, Seiya calls Serena Bunhead instead of Meatball Head, what Mamoru called her in the original dub.
Here is the original Deke dub.
In the Deke dub.
What does he call her in the Viz dub?
I'm not 100% sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter now. You're a 8-year-old or a 10-year-old, which don't be on YouTube, by the way. And you find this show, he probably calls her a bunhead. They probably kept it consistent within the Viz dub.
Probably.
But if you somehow stopped watching Sailor Moon for like 18 years and then you just jumped in to Sailor Stars, you'd be like, he didn't call her a bunhead, he called her a meatball head. I remember this.
Yeah, right.
What you talking about?
This episode marked the first appearance of the 3 lights, Sailor Starlights, Sailor Iron Mouse, and Phage, and the first use of Star Sirius Laser.
It's 3 lights. Or maybe they're like Smashing Pumpkins. They just add the, then take it off.
It is 3 lights. It's just, I don't know, I just said the.
The appearance of 3 lights.
Yeah.
There are 3 lights.
Thank you. I was thinking about that.
Well, there's 4 lights, but yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
The Moon Eternal makeup transformation sequence was reanimated and given new background music starting with this episode, producing a slightly lengthier version.
I'm sure that they just have like roughs or like cells to draw from, but our animations are exactly the same. The camera angles are the same. They just took like the original, the original transformation, or the whole "I'm gonna punish you" and then put wings on her, put little floofs on her things.
Yeah.
So it's basically the same thing.
It's more or less the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Robin Hood, like your beloved Robin Hood.
I love Robin Hood.
Did they reuse from Robin Hood to Aristocats or Aristocats to Robin Hood? And what about Baloo dancing in the Jungle Book? Look, they were hard. Look, they weren't unionized, so they can do whatever they want as far as I'm concerned. Disney animators.
So now we're up to our rating. I like that Ami gets called out for being a secret fan of the Three Lights. Usagi has gotten more mature when she says that she has to send Mamoru off with a smile. I really have sympathy for her. I don't like that there wasn't a scene where we say goodbye to Chibiusa, that there was just a throwaway line saying that she had left.
Yeah.
I like how Mamoru gave Usagi a ring, which we can assume is either a promise ring or an engagement ring. Ugh. And I like that he says he loves Usagi. I like how the girls keep jumping up to see over the crowd where they are filming the drama and how they squeeze into the crowd to have a better vantage point. I liked this episode, but there were things that were not so great about it as well. I feel like I'm going to give it 3 out of 5 roses.
Okay. I didn't decide on this beforehand, and I'm going to say a 4.
Okay.
I thought it was solid. I thought it was moving forward. I kind of want to encourage the show, if that's possible. If this can go back in time, 29 years. It's got everything that I like about a typical Sailor Moon episode. So maybe it's a 3, but then it's introducing a bunch of new elements that are weird. And for some reason, a mouse woman uses a phone booth as a time machine.
Yep.
You're going to hear from Bill and Ted's lawyer anytime now. Or maybe you already have.
Maybe
Gentlemen,
they already have.
With history. That being said, I'll stick with my idea that I don't need new outer senshi. I like the ones we've got. But I guess we'll try these guys for now. I like the idea, although this is the outer senshi, I like protagonist antagonists,
Yes, right.
People who are ostensibly doing good, but maybe they're in conflict with our heroes, which we've got. I don't know what's going on with Sailor Iron Mouse.
Yeah, I know.
But looking forward to seeing her again. Yeah, I mean, look, we should have been here 8 episodes ago.
Yeah, we should have.
But we're here now.
Yeah.
And I'm glad of it. And I've talked a lot. I don't need to say much more. I'll just give it a 4.
Okay, sounds good. My English title is Goodbye, Love, Hello, These Three. Because I was thinking of Rent, because they say there's a song that goes, goodbye, love, just came to say goodbye, love, goodbye. And then they say
hello, these three.
hello, disease. So
okay, all right.
So
wait a minute, are we switching roles here?
I don't know. Are we?
Okay, well, maybe we are.
A little bit.
Maybe we are, or you're just moving in on my turf.
I could be moving in on your turf.
Well, I don't mind it. I like that one. Mine is direct to the point. A little bit of movie making and show business in there, but it just basically tells you where we are. It is A Stars Is Born.
Next episode, we are talking about episode number 174. Gakuen ni Fuku Arashi, Tenkosei wa Idoru in Japanese. The English translation, A School Storm, the transfer students are idols.
A school storm?
Yes.
Ooh.
Ominous.
A storm in the school.
A storm in the school.
I don't understand what they're talking about.
I don't know
I guess
either.
we'll find out next week.
Maybe they mean like the school is in uproar because
yeah,
they're idols who are coming to the school.
Like Hanano Asukagumi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
A storm is sweeping the schools of Japan.
Yes.
If we did end up talking about Asuka, which is an amazing show in the Skiban tradition, it would probably be on our Patreon. at patreon.com/Sailor Noob. We're not doing it yet, though. Instead, we've got a brand new podcast on our Patreon. It's called Nausicast.
Yes.
And on it, we talk about the films of Studio Ghibli, not just the films, the TV shows as well, and not just the TV shows, but also the works of the people behind Ghibli before they got to Ghibli.
That's right.
Because, you wonder, a couple guys make 27 movies about little kids and animals. How'd they get there?
Yeah.
And we've discovered some interesting things so far.
Yes, we
on our journey towards some of the bigger hits. We got to save those, though. But come hear us talk about Studio Ghibli, the works of Hayao Miyazaki and Goro Miyazaki.
Yes.
We'll get there one day.
We will.
And that's all on Nausicast, a podcast for our patrons at patreon.com/Sailor Noob. If you don't want to join a club, even though we'd have you as a member, and joining the Patreon's a little too rich for you, then why not give us a coffee? Go to ko-fi.com/JustEnoughTrope. That's our network coffee page, and put a little in the tip jar just to say, hey, think you're doing a good job. Welcome to Sailor Stars, the real Sailor Stars. Here's a coffee on us.
Well, that's our show for this week, and the Name of the Moon will be punishing you next week with another episode of Sailor Noob.
Never give up.